I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Today's game could end up being all about the defense as both teams rank in the top 10 in fewest yards allowed. The Panthers are top 10 in defensive yards allowed, and they go up against the Cardinals, who will need to find a way to move the football. So, good to call it this Week 16 matchup. Let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, with a beautiful skyline towering just to the right of us, you get a look inside Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup lined up here between the Arizona Cardinals and the Carolina Panthers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Panther ball club as they interplay here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be second and very short.
Really tough drive, but that run helped salvage something there because now there's something positive that came out of it. They got to see good blocking, good push by the offensive line, wide receivers trying to get involved, a good run by the back, and now maybe it'll be a catalyst for them to look at. Going forward, watching it on tape, maybe they can keep incorporating that type of a run into their offense.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Here's Thomas. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down. The inaugural drive for this offense today, and the guy we're going to talk about, Michael Floyd.
Starting to develop into a #1 receiver, a guy that you'll count on downfield.
So second and medium, 2nd and 5 now. Now they'll throw here, out of the gun. Caught by Nelson left side. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
He'll look to throw. Finding time. This will be caught just inside the 10. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll make this a second down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On second down, Johnson. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down?
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
On third down, Johnson. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1. On 4th down, the Cards will call on Chandler Catanzaro to try and put up 3. This a chip shot, a 20-yarder. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. First down, Newton. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
The play clock's running down. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
And the offense still has a couple plays to go to pick up the first on 2nd down and 3. On 2nd down, here's Newton. To the sideline, and a nice catch there. Made sure the feet were inbounds, and they were. Kelvin Benjamin has to be a feature of this offense that's on your screen now.
Definitely a #1 receiver, a huge target with some speed. It's almost like go-go gadget when he goes up to get the football. No matter how you defend him, he can go just a little bit higher.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
Now Newton on first down. Wide open receiver complete. 22 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be a Carolina first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
In motion right is Watkins. From the red zone now, Newton. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Sammy Watkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Panthers are going to take a first-quarter lead.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch. And
this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And he almost flirted with disaster there, but it does get into the end zone before going out, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Super tough.
11 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Cardinals a first down.
How many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. And that led to a really nice game.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be second down.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They'll run it with Johnson. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
It's really come into vogue to talk about the different gaps that the defense tries to attack in an offensive line. And most of the time we're talking about blitzes. How many times have you heard double A-gap blitz? Well, where is the A-gap? It's the space between the center and the guards, either side. So when you're having a double A-gap blitz, there's 2 guys coming through that gap. In this situation, though, that A-gap wasn't open for the defense to exploit. The offensive line took care of it, protected it, and moved the defensive guys out of the way to allow for that nice run.
He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Survey. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So a big roughing the passer penalty, Charles, and of course that's 15 yards.
And everyone knows how protected the quarterbacks are. You've got to make sure that when you launch at the quarterback, that you're hitting him in the right spot and in the right time.
Here's Thomas. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's brought down. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal.
All right, I'm doing my rudimentary math here. That's his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. I don't know if it's just game plan or he's just finding his way open.
And maybe a little of both. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That is caught at the 7-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up us ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. On the ground, this is Johnson. And he fights his way in, not giving up, and it's a Cardinal touchdown. David Johnson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals have retaken the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
After the penalty, it's Henry. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
The tight end, Olsen, in motion. Play clock winding down. Now a play fake here on first down. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. Give him 22 on that one. And the Panthers are set up now with a 1st and goal. We often, with Cam Newton, talk a lot about his legs. Don't forget about that arm.
He can throw it on a rope. He can loft it. He's got the touch that's been developed throughout his career. But the big part about just watching him throw it seems almost effortless.
They come out here in the eye. On first down, it's Newton. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Sammy Watkins, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So 2nd and 10 here. Back to the air, Newton on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Everything looked right on that play except the conclusion. He dropped it, an in route, going into a little bit of traffic. Maybe in the back of his mind, he was wondering where the hit was going to come from.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. An extra defensive back on the field here for 3rd and goal. Now Newton on 3rd and goal. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And Gano's kick is right through. And that will knot us up at 10. So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for given the drive that they were on.
Yeah, things were looking good. You had it first and goal, but then the offense sputters a bit, and they're forced to settle for a field goal.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
Give them 27 yards that time. And that'll be good for an Arizona first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Now, that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
5 yards left for the offense. It's 2nd down. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. J.J. Nelson, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. And the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down, 5 yards to go. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's unable to haul it in. So it falls incomplete over the middle third of the field. And that brings up 4th.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. So it's an empty trip downfield there as they get a missed field goal on 4th down.
And I didn't see anything in the setup. It's a good snap, good hold.
Yep.
He just pushed it, and that one never wanted to come back.
Here are the Panthers now as their offense comes back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But also have to remember, they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They come out here in the eye. A first down carry for Henry. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Jalen Smith out of Notre Dame. Partner, that's got to be one of the best stories in the NFL, seeing him out on the field.
Yeah, it really is. That injury that he had during the bowl game against Ohio State, boy, that hurt his draft stock. So nice to see him out there.
I had him rated as the top player in his class in 2016 before his injury. He ends up going in the 2nd round, and now he's starting to make the plays we expected to see.
And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. 2 yards gets him back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
An extra DB added here for the Cards on 3rd.
Blitzer play coverage.
And the back goes into motion. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Throwing on 3rd down, Newton. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line.
Well, the advantage has certainly shifted to the defense as we began that third down play, and they found a way to foil it and pick up a first down.
Third time's a charm, right? 2 incompletions. Had to have it on third, and they got it.
Yeah, they stuck with it, weren't daunted at all, and picked it up.
Oh, design run for their wideout. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That's a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the gun on 3rd down, Newton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And Gano's kick is right through. And they will take the lead at 13-10. So it goes down as an 8-play drive, and they cap it with the field goal.
Yeah, they were able to pick up a few first downs along the way, but they couldn't keep the momentum going all the way into the end zone.
This will be fielded at the 8. Now a hit and a loose football. There he goes, right side. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. Here's Newton. Being chased, Cam fighting. He lost the football. It's out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
I'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. And the Cardinals offense here ready to take over. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Johnson. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
Here's Thomas. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together and makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
On on third down. He'll drop to throw. He checks it down here to Ellington. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And I know you can't really see it, but that play spells frustration with a capital F for the guys on defense. They covered everyone else, ended up going to the running back out of the backfield, and he picks up a back-breaking first down.
A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. They'll look to throw now on first down. Incomplete. The intended receiver was David Johnson. And it's second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. They'll look to throw here. He hits Floyd on the right. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Three receivers to the left, one to the right. Back to throw now on first down. Screen play, Johnson. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
They'll put two receivers left, two to the right. They'll look to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. Johnson was the intended receiver, and it's third and short. Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is third and a yard. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. They were looking for Johnson that time, and that brings up fourth down. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This was the old NFL record distance for decades, a 63-yard attempt. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. And they'll be looking to atone. And oh, his first carry, he loses the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. To throw on second down is Newton. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. Third down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Third and long. It's Newton. Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have two remaining here before we get to halftime. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They come out with one back and three tight ends. Now they'll run it on the toss. Down to about the 22 here. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. They're going to hurry back to the line now. There's Newton now on 2nd down. To the sideline, and that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now a first down throw for Newton. His throw caught at about the 5. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action. From the gun, here's Newton. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Second down here after the incomplete pass. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Newton now to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. So 3rd and goal. The defense in the dime.
Can still bring pressure.
And he will take it across for a Panthers touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin in the final seconds of the first half. And the Panthers are able to grow their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about, and still put the ball in the end zone.
Yeah, just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve as we send you down to Orlando. Okay, so Larry apparently giving us the silent treatment all of a sudden, and we're going to skip ahead to quarter number 3. This is taken near the 13. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Out come the Panthers. They'll have it first on offense in the 3rd quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Second down, 8. They come out here in the eye. On second down, here's Henry. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the 3rd quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Now, that was a big-time play by the defense. They as well knew where the first down line was, and they didn't let them get anywhere near it.
And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it. They will go for it. Now Newton. Greg Olsen, nobody ahead of him. Touchdown, Carolina. Greg Olsen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Panthers add on to their lead. Big 4th down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on 4th down? And, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. 2nd down to the offense in search of 6 yards.
Here we go.
10th carry for Johnson. A strong running. And he's brought down. So the run moves the chains, and here we go on 1st down. Here's Thomas. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, ball's out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Here we go.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's Floyd on the right. Touchdown, Cardinals. Michael Floyd, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. And sometimes those slants, they can be so tough to defend after the catch. It just happens so quickly.
And really, what gets set up there is how quickly everything happens. Ball's out of the hands of the passer in a hurry, and he just takes it and goes.
And he went all the way into the end zone. On the return, here's the dangerous Cordero Patterson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. And with this guy, I don't know that you're surprised when he has back-to-back games like this. He just keeps excelling.
What I like about him is that every year he doesn't settle for being one of the best in the game. He tries to make himself better. Almost like those great...
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line.
Well, surprise, surprise, partner. No, we know it's not a surprise. When you try to complete a pass against this Cardinals defense, there's a reason that they're known as the no-fly zone.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, give up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credit the tackle to Kurt Coleman.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. The intended receiver, Andre Ellington. And 4th down coming up. Here's Garrett Swanson now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. That's taken on the 25. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Panthers will get it here as they take possession. Carolina getting set to take the field. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
The tight end, Olsen, in motion. Now a play fake, and it's Newton. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Slot man moves right. On 1st down, Murray. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Again, it's Murray. And he cuts it back right, and he's got a crease. Touchdown, Carolina. Latavius Murray, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Panthers add on to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Shaq Thompson, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Good job by the O-line. Quarterback had time to go through his checks. That's one you need to take advantage of.
A perfect situation, and they're unable to take advantage of it. When you have that much time to scan the field, you have to find an open receiver.
Gun now on third down. Looking for Floyd, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
Well, it's third and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Carolina getting set to take the field. Out of the Wildcat, a wide receiver carry. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Throwing is Newton. Looking right side, and that's complete to Watkins. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So they've been unable to capitalize on the great field position as of yet. Here's 3rd and 9. Throwing on third down, Newton. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is not with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle. He can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. But I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
That second down run, a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. They come out here in the eye. Here's the battering ram Blunt, and he takes it into the end zone for a Panthers touchdown. LeGarrette Blunt, his first touchdown on the year, and the Panthers are able to grow their lead. Gano for the extra point.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
We're off to the 4th quarter here on Christmas Eve. And we're back now in Charlotte, where the fourth quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the third quarter. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Caught on the left side, Fitzgerald. And he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball, because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Third down, still 14 yards left. Here's Thomas. He's got time in the pocket. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down.
Here we go.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He's got time. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on fourth down. And the Panthers are going to get it back in excellent field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? You want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Newton on first down. And he delivers a strike complete to Watkins. The ball comes out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
And I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well.
That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it a second down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have
hammering for the goal line, he loses the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Partner, how often we hear about 20-yard line going in, that scoring zone, getting points on the board. A lot of teams call from the 10-yard line in the green zone. That's your money zone. He fumbles the ball inside the money zone. You have one job, take care of the ball. That didn't happen.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
Second down following the run.
Here we go. Brand 38.
Now a first carry for their fullback. They'll try to get forward, but he's going to be stopped in his tracks at about the 3. Third down at 8 now.
Here we go. Ohio.
Andre Ellington, his first carry. And this one will be taken up. They'll spot it right at the 7. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. Here's Garrett Swanson now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Carolina getting set to take the field. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time, fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
One receiver right is Watkins. On 1st and 10, Newton sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be a second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
Benjamin with it over the middle. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done.
Caught on the left side by Benjamin. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll bring up a second down.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Here we go.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. And he loses the football a second time. Man, maybe a little too cute there on the return, losing 13 yards. But his guys get the football back.
It's hard to stay mad at a player who fights for yardage, even if it's not successful. But on this play, I'm just looking at what the defense did. We always talk about gang tackling and getting more people to the football. How about the job they did there, the discipline they had? No matter how hard he fought, more and more people showed up and helped create that big loss of yardage there. That's the kind of play that the defense gets excited about.
No gain, and it's second down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play? Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They're going to look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on third.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Fitzgerald's got it right side. And he's brought down. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
Anytime you call man coverage against Larry Fitzgerald, you're really holding your breath as a defensive guy, because his ability to run such precise routes and use that big frame that he has, that body against you, it's going to be very difficult to break passes up against him.
Yeah, when you make 9 Pro Bowls in your first 12 years, you might want to give him a little bit more coverage than that.
Yeah, it's not just athletic ability. He's a thinking man's receiver as well.
Here's Thomas. Now they go screen. It's complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he's got Fitzgerald. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Larry Fitzgerald, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals cut into that lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
And it looks like the Panthers' hands team does its job. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Carolina getting set to take the field. And last time, the fumble, the turnover. Now they still have the lead, but I don't think coaches... Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Throwing here, Newton. Latavius Murray, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. And now it's 2nd down. 2nd down now after the incompletion. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Newton. And this one's incomplete. And the Cardinals, they trot out their dime package for 3rd down. A run. It's Murray. And able to break. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So now off goes Newton, and on comes the kicker, Graham Gano. This to make it a 3-score game late. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. And you figure with that, this game's pretty well out of reach.
It would take a heck of a comeback at this point. Being 3 scores down, I think that's too much to ask with time winding down here in the 4th.
J.J. Nelson now to return. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once we were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And we've got movement by one of the big boys up front for Arizona. Flag comes in.
False start, offense.
So the defense has put them in a tough spot. It's second and long.
Let's go. Ryan 38.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and it's going to be third down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
After that incompletion, I almost get the sense that he's going to look up at the booth and kind of look at us and say, hey, you guys got any suggestions? It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? They've had him on the run throughout.
Yeah, and I get that you're trying to make a play here losing fourth quarter, but to throw when you're not set with pressure coming could have been an interception.
Very much so, and it's been that kind of game for him. They've had him on the run, had him off balance. He's got to find a way to make some big-time throws down the stretch.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry, and he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
Tough day. Tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They keep it with Henry on 1st down. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.